We are live in action. This is the Fort Valley Podcast. I'm your host, Vix, Anatole, and Ryan will be with me shortly on this episode of the podcast. We're going to talk about NBA playoffs. We're going to talk about Coach Bud getting fired. What's the ramifications of him being fired and Giannis? Baseball, and one last thing. Of course, this is part of the show. We say, let's go.
Hey, yeah.
And of course, this is Fort Valley Show, Fort Valley Boys Podcast. And we on Wednesdays and Sundays at 9:05 p.m. We're brought to you by Crazy Straws. If you crazy, got a straw, get you some Crazy Straws. Just for me, got a little grain in your beer. Go ahead and get that CB4 for Walgreens or CVS. Just for me. We're sponsored by new sponsor, Dax Wave and Groom. If you still got some hair in your hair, you try to get waves, get Dax Wave and Groom. Arizona tea, been $1 since 1991 and give you diabetes since 1865. Arizona tea. Of course, you can follow us on Facebook and YouTube, BuyANightShow.com. You went to HBCU or you pledged one of the Greek after HBCU fraternities, Divine Nine. Go to BuyANightShow.com. Damon's podcast. Chopping it up. We'll start this month. We're trying to get him in the barbershop, but we can't let him go to Mike's barbershop because his hairline be all the way back here like Stephen A. Smith. And of course, our one of our favorite sponsors, Henny and Coke and Crown Royal XO and Coke, the dark liquors. Join me right now. I'm shop producer, and I'm told what to do, Bo.
Boy, I'm in these streets, man, driving. So yeah, I'm rolling. I've been at Walmart waiting for my groceries for about 45 minutes. So
45 minutes.
Yes, sir. These New World problems, man.
Thomasville?
My groceries. You know it, Thomasville. Yeah. Thomasville. Waiting for my groceries.
All right, let's start. We're not talking about the NFL draft now. NBA playoffs. Since we last talked on Wednesday, a lot of folks are saying they don't see the Lakers winning. They won by 30. Straw won by 30 on Anatole.
Lakers are 5.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This NBA playoffs has been like a whirlwind. Between me working, I hadn't seen a lot of it, but I've been betting my ass off. I'm mad at Jokic. So Jokic goes off the other night. They lose the game, and I had a chance to win $500 on a free $25 bet, and missed it by one block. One block.
Y'all know the man can't jump over a phone book.
He could have gave me one more block. He
couldn't jump the broom at his wedding.
He wouldn't be married if he had to jump over a broom.
Block. This is a block. That's a block.
Nowadays, that's a foul. But what have you seen the last 4 or 5 days? The Knicks are trash.
The most competitive series is the Boston and Boston Philly series. That's the one. Every line that I've seen has been -2, -3. There's really been no. If it's a blowout, it's unexpected. That means somebody took a game off. But yeah, it's always that's competitive. That's just competitors in them guys. It is.
Yeah. And so what's your biggest takeaway these last couple of days since we last had the show Wednesday? Oh, we don't lost him. He did a Mike Atwater.
Did I go out?
No, there you go.
Okay, my bad. I just put to the house. Lakers in 5, man. But that Philly and Boston series, man, I watched that game. That was a great game. That was perfect. That was a beautiful game. Some of the best.
He was about to say some of the best basketball.
Yeah.
We're longing for a playoff win.
Let me ask y'all this. Who do you trust more to show you who they are? Donald Trump or James Harden?
That's an easy answer. That's an easy answer. That's unfortunately Donald Jerome Trump.
Harden has shown us who he is in the playoffs when it comes to like let the Celtics win on Game 5. Let the Celtics win Game 5. Harden's gonna go about 3 for 50. Just like last year against the Heat, I believe they played the Heat and missed the first 2 games. Game 6, he was like 5 for 24. Yes, I mean he wet the bed in closeout games when he's the team that's been getting closed out. But I don't know. They needed that win today. I mean, 42 points. He was more aggressive this game. What the one thing that I've noticed with him all season is that he cannot drive to the basket. He doesn't have that same speed. I think those soft tissue injuries over the last couple of years have hindered him. And
it's funny that he's in Philadelphia because I don't, that's where you get some of the slogans from the colonial days and God we trust, but I don't trust James Harden more than I can throw him, and that's being real because I hearken this back to his time in Houston when he was it was him, Chris Paul, and I'm not sure who the third person was, but they were on their way to the NBA, the Western Conference. Was it the Western Conference Final or NBA Finals?
Yeah, we're in the Western Conference Finals.
And they wet the bed. They went ice cold. I mean, he couldn't catch a cold. Chris Paul got injured the game before.
Yeah, Game 5.
Yeah,
Game 5.
And if I'm not mistaken, they was playing Golden State. Mm-hmm. Had a chance to knock off Golden State, and just literally wet the bed. And that was one. And ever since then, I'm like, we have been building him up as this MVP candidate all season. He didn't win the MVP, I don't think, that year, but he didn't perform. He wasn't there. He wasn't there at all. I don't know who that guy was, but it wasn't James Harden. And he, ever since then, going to Brooklyn, wearing the fat suit, all this. Look out now! Look out in the port.
Yeah. We live from FLA Arena. I think that's what they call this arena. I don't know. I just came to see what y'all boys were talking about as far as the Celtics and Philly.
Oh yeah, we're talking about who you trust more to show you who they are in a closeout game. Donald Trump or James Harden.
Hey, you know what, man? Look at him. That boy went for about 45 tonight. You good? You can fly to Vegas right now and put money. He ain't gonna get 20 on the next game.
Okay, I'm going. I'm putting it on there. It's on you. It's on you, Shot. I'm putting it on there. He ain't getting 20. I'm going under 20.
Yeah, we gonna call that boy Checkerboard Hard, man. He on and off.
Hey, before we continue on with basketball, man, what's it like down there with the Florida Panthers? They were the number 1 seed last year. We talked about it a week ago. This year, they knocked off the number 1 seed, and right now they primed to go to the conference finals. How they look tonight?
Hey, so first of all, y'all pray for me because it ain't that many of us up in here. So every time you see me look up, that means I see somebody that look like me. And I just got to make eye contact because it ain't that many. Oh, you here too, bro? Oh, okay. All right, right on, bro. Right on. Yeah, that's right. Like you can see, it ain't that many. Woo, strong, nervous. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I'm nervous.
Do I need to get the red eye? Do I need to catch a red eye to get support you?
Hey, I'm just glad this ain't the end of the podcast where I got to do that, that thing that I normally do. I don't want to say it right now. I'm a little scared. I got some hands, but it ain't enough. But, you know, it's crazy. It's different down here. You know, I really just came to the game just you know, me and Faye talked about it earlier. I'm a Panther fan. You know, I support everything down here. And it's just a different experience. So if you ain't ever been to one, you know what I'm saying, you should go check it out.
Yeah, like I told you last week, I hate they took away the Thrashers from us. I really hated that. I've never been to a game. I just wanted to try to go. But the Thrashers were never that good, so no point in me wasting any money.
Hockey is a different element. We did. They had a minor league AAA team here, the River Kings, and I went to a game. I got free tickets to a game, and me and my son took it in, and it was a different experience, but it was still a good experience nonetheless.
Okay.
Let me ask y'all this, right? Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead. My bad.
No, go ahead, Faye. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask y'all. At the end of the game in overtime, Joe Mazzulla had 2 timeouts and his coach's challenge. They had 10 seconds left. If there was 12 seconds left after James Harden hit the 3. Why in the hell did he not call timeout?
Well, like I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a fan of going to play ball because like you trying to set up your offense, but they get to set up their defense. So you know, I'm one of those coaches. Remember what game was that? Was the NC2A game? Was that Gonzaga? Where instead of calling the timeout, you know, coach just told him to go. Like that's my philosophy as a coach. I'm not calling timeout. I feel like the best chance I can get you and your defense to be off balance is to just go off that mid basket. And I used to tell my shorty, go straight to the bucket, go straight to the cup, and make the refs do something, or unless you got an open 3. So, you know, I don't really disagree with that.
Man, you got to. That's a tough one there, but I mean, you know, that's the thing about the playoffs is you live to play another game, and it's close. It's close. Like I said, this is a competitive series. You got to get them X's and O's right. If you don't have them X's and O's right, that may come back to haunt him again. But I mean, I hope he learns from this experience. I mean, you've been coaching this long. I mean, go ahead and next time let's take the TO. Let's set it up. Get a good shot for Jaylen Brown, who had over 3. How many threes did Jaylen Brown have tonight? Was it? Oh, it was over 3.
It was over 3, about 5 or 6, I believe. It could be wrong.
Yeah, so I mean, you got to get it into your shooters that's kind of reliable. So I mean, you know, that's hindsight, of course, and it's always crystal clear. Maybe you'll do better next time, but yeah, you got to do that. You got to do it. You got to call that timeout instead of give your team a chance to pull it out. You up 3-1 at that time.
My next question is then, I get it, don't want to call timeout, run off, go ahead and run it. I get that part. I would rather have somebody like Malcolm Brogdon or Derek White, who is more, I guess, turnover conscious when they have possession of the ball and running the offense instead of Marcus Smart. And last year, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown showed you they cannot. Their handle is not strong enough to hold up like that. So the next question is, why wasn't Brogdon in to help run the offense?
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. He should have been in. You got to have your guns in if you shooting. I mean, shoot, when they had a shootout at the OK Corral, you had your best guns, right? You got to have your best guns in the game. So that's another coaching mistake.
Yeah, I feel, but like I said, I don't have a problem with Marcus Smart coming down. You want to get the ball in Jaylen Brown's hands, but you know we got a game on the line. I'm like I said, so I'm running it. But I see everybody. I see that point of view. You know, you definitely want to get your guns in there, but and again, you know, I'll even go back to it from an official standpoint. You know, a lot of times if we call a foul, a lot of times we tell the people like we're rewarding the defense because that gives you a chance to set back up. So just from that perspective, I don't want to. You know, as a coach, I don't want that defense to set up. We gonna go and live and die with that one right there.
But don't you in that instance, though, shot? Don't you want to give them some? Yeah, that's a. How many timeouts did Philly have at the end of that? Because
they were done.
They were done. So you don't. I mean, they got to go. They got to go with what they got at that point. They ain't got no chance to switch. So you bring in your guns. You got to go with what you got, and they wet the bed, or if they flub it, then they flub it. But in Boston's case, you got to have the best players on the floor. It's like my boy Herm said a long time ago. You play to win the game.
I feel you. I feel you.
All right, right now, Phoenix and Denver are at the half. The Phoenix is up by 2, 63-61. Jokic had got a technical foul right before the half for pushing Matt Ishbia, the new owner of the Suns. He flopped. He used to play for Michigan State that championship year in 2000. Yeah, 2000. So they're right now.
First of all, this goddamn Tony got me watching Kevin Durant to see if he gonna slip and hold and rub his head, man. I wasn't even able to fully watch the game. I'm watching to see if this dude slipping and falling, but I did watch it and I come up with this summation. Aaron Gordon can guard him. That's what I came up with. I won't say he lost a step. I mean, we all know that. But Aaron Gordon can guard him. And he's making it very, very difficult for KD because he's not as explosive. I don't think it's Achilles. I think it's age. You know, and with that being said, he was struggling from the field and still finished with 39 points and almost 50% shooting. That dude is unreal, man.
One of the best peer scorers.
Right, without even talking about Devin Book getting his 45. Without even talking about that. Let's see where we at.
I think like Cameron Payne, Landry Shamet, those two guys are going to have to step up with Chris Paul out. And I've said it for the last couple years since we've been doing this show. Chris Paul is the epitome of bad things happen to the good people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see you P3. I see you P3.
It's like we put when you put that in the chat the other week, earlier this week rather, and I saw it. I was like, I mean, it's like I had a Biggie moment again. He always getting hurt. He always getting hurt around this time, you know. And then once again, going back to them Houston days, man. When it's all on the line, bro, I get ooh.
Yeah, that was Reverend Tick said that, man. So, hey, I'm about to sign off, y'all, boy. I just came here to support y'all. Say what's up. We about to go in here and see if these Panthers can go up 3-0 against these Maple Leafs.
Maple Leafs them wet the bed the whole series.
Hey, so let me ask you a question, Shot. Do the Panthers have a cup? Do they have a cup?
Nah, we ain't got none. We made it to the finals, like in
96.
96, yeah, with Van Beesbrook. I remember I was living in Dr. Miles. That was the last time. And then last year we were the favorites, and we shit in the bed, But today we got a chance to go up 3-0. They go up 3-0. The ticket's gonna be crazy. So. But it's one other. It's me and her. We like the having us in the building. Me and her, and about 5 other people. Sorry, but I had to say that. All right, I'm gonna catch up with y'all, boys.
All right, Shot. That was Shot live on assignment at the Florida Panthers game during, I believe it was probably their first intermission. Going to the second period, I believe. Let's see,
yeah, sounds like
might be the first or the second intermission. Can't really say, but depending on what time the game started. Started at 8, probably going to the third period. So Panthers are almost up, should be up 3-0. They're probably going to go to the finals this year. The way they're looking, like I said, Boston, the way it's trended, they'll be the 8th seed next year and make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. Just the way it's trending. The way number 1 seeds go.
That's them Bruins. Them Bruins. That's one of them. What they call them, the original 8.
Original 6.
The original 6. Yeah. So.
Yeah. But like I said, we talk everything on the show. We talk everything. We talk hockey. We talk everything.
Everything.
Anton will be back with us in a moment. one game we haven't talked about the Heat, but I think the Heat gonna go to the finals this year. I just feel it because they were the 1 seed last year, got to the conference final, to the 8 seed this year. I think they're more hungrier. They weren't overconfident. I think their defense has been outstanding this whole season. And what they're doing to the Knicks is like the 90s Knicks and Heat series where nobody can shoot, but it's more who can out physical you, who can out will you. And I think the Heat going to close them out in 5. I really do, because Julius Randle look like garbage. Jalen Brunson is just don't look right. And RJ Barrett.
I think the Knicks are happy to be there. You know, they seem to be improving every year. It wasn't too long ago we were talking about how bad the Knicks were and why they hadn't been to the playoffs in so many years. But I actually think that these the Heat, they trying to get back to where they were with the bubble. So I mean, this is one of them things they really Jimmy Butler's supposed to try to deliver them a championship, and that's one of the things that has tasked himself with doing. And I don't know what they shot him up with in that ankle, or what they wrapped him up with, something that they don't put on the street. But man, Jimmy Butler, you my hero. Keep leading them. Keep bringing them on to the ship.
They said it was just a rolled ankle, wasn't a true sprain. So and they got what they wanted when they went to New York. But I think if he would play game 2, they'd be up 3-0 right now. And I think they'll be sweeping the Knicks, and Tom Thibodeau be on the hot seat. Even though y'all be saying I try to fire folks, but at the same time, Jimmy fires a folks. And imagine this. Imagine if Donovan Mitchell was on this team. They probably wouldn't get out the first round.
It would be different. Donovan Mitchell is that guy when he wants to be that guy. When he wants to be that guy, he'll be that guy. You know, I'm just harkening back to his time in Utah. He just had some real good moments in Cleveland, but his time in Utah, when he wants to be that man and he's surrounded by enough talent that he got that dog in him, I think he does well.
And it's only thoughts from that series before we move on to your Lakers.
Jalen Brunson. I knew he was a decent player. You know, I knew he got a lot of money, but he's really impressed me his whole playoffs. Like he is like a cross between, I don't know, Rod Strickland and old Derrick Rose and
I had Craig Hayward.
Jalen Rose with the left hand. I mean, I'm impressed with Jalen Brunson. I mean, so if you had to do what you had to do to get him, that's cool, because he is really. Like, I just watched the Knicks game just for the crowd. I mean, it's amazing how much they love their team, how much they're passionate about the team, and Philly too. I know y'all went on for Philly, but and Philly too. They are very passionate fan base, and they are begging for a win. And I just love to watch those teams. I like real fans and not bandwagon fans. So
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I hate all these new Laker fans because we've been bad for a long time. I hate them, but I just love to watch the crowd, and it's a good series. But the Heat, as long as Jimmy Butler get off the bus, I mean they're gonna win the game. Jimmy is the man. He is the absolute man.
Yeah, I think I said I made a hot take. They're going to the finals this year. Even without Tyler Hero, they're going to the finals.
I see it. It's possible. I mean, I don't see why they shouldn't. I don't see it. Like I said, that dog, when you want something bad enough, because you got to remember that Jimmy Butler has not won a championship on any level. He is hungry for a title, period. He could go play a rec league. He probably want to win a rec league title and want to get that. But I mean, he has never won on any level. And this is it. This is the culmination of all his hard work. If they do win, look for him to cry, like uncontrollably cry.
Let me ask y'all this right quick. Like I said, we'll get to the Lakers in a second. We'll just say Miami's in the finals. Do you see them beating any one of those 4 teams in the West?
I could see them beating the Lakers. And the reason I could see them beating the Lakers is because of the Lakers in some of their inconsistencies. When Anthony Davis is challenged sometimes, he kind of fades away.
Let's
So
see.
I think if you would have matched him up with Bam, and Bam gets kind of physical with him, he gonna miss one game.
26-13 in the finals in the bubble against Bam, but that's neither here nor there. I knew you were gonna go there.
Okay. I mean, that's then. That was then. Now that was then. That's what 3-4 years ago.
3
years ago.
3 years
I mean, if we don't learn anything from our past, we all doomed to repeat it. So I mean, and since then, I'm sure everybody knows. Since then, they call him street clothes. So he ain't been playing full seasons. He seems to he's almost getting that label of being injury prone. This is the first time I remember him playing the last part of the season into the playoffs consecutively in a while. That's my hot take.
It matters if for me, the 4 teams are what? I don't see the Heat being none of the 4 teams. I mean, Denver is an awesome team. I mean, Phoenix, as long as KD and Booker playing, that's 60 points right there. I don't think the Heat can match up with any of those teams. But at the same time, who can hold Jimmy Butler on any of those 4 teams?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I really think, I mean, Jimmy Butler is that guy that can play on both sides of the ball, in my opinion. I really think that he would be able to, I'm not going to say he going to shut LeBron down, but he would be able to at least hold him and kind of limit him in that 20 range versus you worrying about him going for 30.
But it's just Jimmy. He needs some help.
Yeah, he's going to need some help. He definitely needs some help.
I think LeBron is in his Clooney years of not doing 28, 7-7. I think he's gonna do 20. I'm gonna do my Keyshawn voice. I don't know about 22, 9-9. Just keep it. Just manage the game. Be fine. But yeah, I don't see him being any team. I'm gonna give you Jimmy Butler gonna be able to guard Michael Porter Jr.
Oh yeah.
6'11" versus 6'5".
Jimmy Butler a dog. Jimmy Butler is a dog. Whoever name you say, Jimmy Butler is a dog.
Jokic, he gonna guard Jokic.
Come on, Fabian.
He gonna
anybody on the wing. Anybody on the wing.
He gonna guard Murray.
Yeah, Murray. He'll guard all those guys. Jimmy Butler is a dog. If you do an X-ray of the heart, it's a dog in the middle where it's heart at. DAWG. And he liked the Georgia Bulldogs. That's my guy.
Here we go.
He do.
Them guys, these folks.
Those guys. Jimmy Butler loves those guys.
Okay.
You know somebody picked them to win big in the last 2 national championship games.
You might want to pick him again, Fab.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
I am. I don't know who the quarterback going to be. I'm going to pick him. I'm not
Carson Beck. And Carson Beck slated to he probably gonna get the snaps more. I mean, he been waiting.
Yeah, he gonna get it from Duval County. He gonna get it from Duval County. I'm sorry, Fade. That's my fault.
All right, so last team before we get on Coach Bud, Lakers won by 30 last night. They look big man last night.
I need Anthony Davis to play like Anthony Davis 2 games in a row before I get excited, because he's like a roller coaster. He's up and down, up and down.
I just need another 30 and 20 from him. I'm like you. I need a 30 and 20 from him. I think he, when he is on, he is on. I mean, like, and I get it. You know what I mean? That's what he's supposed to do, in my opinion, in this series. He got to reassert himself as that guy. And why not? You got Kevin Looney. Kevin Looney is every bit of what, 6'9"? He getting the rebound. What is he, 6'10"?
No, I don't think that's all.
Okay. He getting the rebounds, but I mean, sweet Christmas. We got to you got to do that every night. You go home, get you some rest. All right. It's just like getting up and going to work every day. You clock in, all right, 30 and 20. That's my job. I'm punching out 30 points, 20 boards. Ain't nobody that tall as me. Ain't nobody else can outdo me. I want my 30 and 20.
But Kevon Looney is playing some good basketball.
Yes.
For Golden State. He really is. I mean, you know they're gonna lose. Everybody knows they're gonna lose Draymond, but Looney's doing a good job.
I think he's gonna opt out. But the only thing with those two, with Looney and Draymond, you can't start both of them because two non-shooters on the court.
Right.
Which is why they went to like Looney coming off the bench, which I think Draymond running the second unit is more effective because that was more effective against Sacramento when he came back off suspension. But at the same time, you got him and Jordan Poole, which I think this goes back to the beginning of the year. Their fight during preseason is going to come back to haunt them this series.
Jordan Poole is being very inconsistent. He gets the ball and he's out of control a lot lately, and I love it. I'm a Jordan Poole guy, but he is inconsistent a lot. But I don't know. You know what they need to make? Adjustment they need to make? They need to put Steph on the Lakers. That's all they need to do, Corey. Put Steph on the Lakers, and they can take Corey Brown or somebody, one of those guys, and that'll help Golden State a lot. That's my thing. That's what I think should happen.
I'd rather have Clay.
That's not a bad. That's not bad. That's not a bad thought.
Give me one of them.
I'd rather have Clay. But what Justice Golden State needs to make, Golden State need to keep doing what they're doing in the first quarter of the game. They need to continue to push the pace. A lot of folks say LeBron played too many minutes. It's not about the minutes with LeBron. It's about the pace of play. Because you saw last night in the third quarter, I think, after he blocked the shot, he tried to chase it and went into the crowd. They pulled him right out the game. He got 30 seconds, and they had to come right back and Golden State made a small little run.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the pace of play, which means that goes to conditioning, which means they're not built to play that pace, but at the same time, they should be because they want them to run every time they get the ball break. Don't let them break. But I think, with Golden State, they need to go ahead and they need to just start small, and I will limit Jordan Poole's minutes and give Moody and Kuminga some run. Give Kuminga some run because they need some more size. I would rather play Kuminga and Green together. Kuminga, Green, and then have Curry and Thompson do a lineup like that. Let Wiggins take a break if you're gonna run something like that.
But real talk. I mean, you know, I joke. I'm a Laker fan, big time, but they have to limit the role players. Like, you can't let D'Lo do what he did last night. You can't let Austin Powers do what he's doing. You know, some nights you can't let Rui do what he do. He didn't have a good game last night. Well, he didn't shoot last night.
Nah,
but you can't let the role players. You got to make LeBron shoot jumpers. That's how you beat the Lakers. Make LeBron shoot jumpers. Make AD play defense and defend. Maybe try to get him in foul trouble. That's how you beat him. Because LeBron's gonna get tired. He's not gonna get back on defense. He's not gonna. I mean, he's not. He's lazy on defense right now because he's 38 years old. But at the same time, you got to do those things to beat the Lakers. But we win. If we win, what is it? Fade Monday.
they play Monday. Yeah.
Monday. Lakers in 5.
I think 6, but I think they'll win tomorrow night. If they close them out and if they close them out and what we call it, they better hope. I think if the Lakers make it, let me see. Oh, Phoenix is up 83-80. They just hit a 3.
80, just 81. Well, I think it was 81. 83-80.
But you know your team will be late fade. 83-81.
Yeah. Joker just hit a free throw.
Okay, yeah, I'm on YouTube TV, so I'm about.
Yeah, you know, you got dial up.
Yeah, no, it's YouTube TV. I'm 30 seconds behind. YouTube. When the finals happen, I watch YouTube TV on my iPad. No, I was watching. I was watching through ESPN on my iPad, and then the game was on in the house. The game was over, and I'm still watching the last 25 seconds on my iPad. I'm like, so that's
the satellite got to come back. You know, it's going different from different satellite. You got to come to Macon, you know, and You know how they go.
Corey Jane, that's so disrespectful. Corey Jane. Oh, we got Jamon Sims, the championship winning coach. He's still a Britt James. There you go, a hater. And look, Jamon Sims, a championship winning coach, 2-time championship winning coach. He knows something about winning championships.
See,
What to do, Jamon? What to do, Jamon?
Denver just went up 84-83.
Yeah, we're getting updates live from you guys because, like I said, I'm on YouTube TV. I cut the cord 3 years ago. I refuse to give cable my money anymore. What it did, Jamal? You need to get on.
This is a game, ladies and gentlemen. It's a game in the third. 3 minutes 43 seconds left to go. KD got 25. So,
Jamal, you got the link in the chat. Just click on that. Get in there. Get in there. Yeah. Get in there. But if I'm the Lakers, it don't even matter who you want to face because both those teams' offenses are superb. So, what I would do if I'm playing Phoenix, you can let Booker and KD get 60. You just can't let everybody else go to other 51. I know that sounds crazy, but I mean they're gonna get their 60. They showed that game 3. They scored 86, barely won by 5. You're gonna have to exhaust them on the defensive end also too. But we'll like I said, Wednesday we'll go a little bit more in depth. We'll probably talk about the NFL schedule as well too. But one last topic before we go. Coach Bud was fired earlier this week. Just won a championship 2 years ago. That shows a run of 4 of the last 5 coaches that won championships have been fired. Ty Lue was fired from Cleveland. Frank Vogel, Coach Bud. Who am I missing? Nick Nurse. Only 2 coaches still in their places are Steve Kerr and Eric and my Purple Spoelstra. Coach Spoelstra in the Dade County. Jamon Sims said it best, scapegoat. But at the same time, Jamon, they're about to fire him after the finals 21. He didn't win. They're about to fire him. They're about to fire him then. He still did the same stuff. And so, was this the right move?
You know what? I'm gonna say no. I say give Coach Bud another year. And you know I don't like Coach Bud because how he left my Hawks.
He got fired. He got fired. He didn't just leave him. He got fired.
Yeah, he got fired, but still, they was winning. You know, I mean that last year they won like 28 games or whatever. But I don't agree with firing people like that all the time. I mean, you was number 1 in the conference. Yeah, you got beat in the first round, but you know,
the league hit the overall number 1 seed.
But Giannis hurt his his tush, his back. So they go how Giannis go. Giannis wasn't 100%. Jimmy Butler was like I say, he a dog. He was a dog. They weren't expecting that. They should have hoped to play the Hawks instead of the team that they played. Yeah, it was crazy. My bad, I got an email. You know I'm important, Fade. Yeah. But yeah, this is number 5 Coach Bud.
My thing is though, I get it with that, but Giannis is just as much to blame too, because as much as we lauded Giannis for the closeout in Game 6 against the Suns 2 years ago, he had a 50 piece and went 17 for 19 for the free throw. You scored 38 and 20 in Game 5, and you still missed 13 free throws. You gave up the ball after the jump ball to Chris Middleton. That I believe that caused a turnover, which gave Miami the chance to tie at the end of the game. And then Coach Bud took out Brook Lopez. You took out the center, which allowed Jimmy to go to the hole to catch the lob to go send it overtime.
Well, I'm just saying who's going to be a better coach for that team. I mean, they can't make many moves. I don't believe.
He made Udoka if he would have if he did a Bobby Crimmins, if he does a Bobby Crimmins. You remember that Bobby Crimmins did? When South Carolina changed their mind?
To Georgia Tech, yeah.
Yeah.
When we was some young Jets then, fam.
Folks don't remember that. I remember that they lost to Southern that first round. That next day, he took the job in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Crying and everything. Then say, you know what? I made a bad mistake. Then they got Eddie Fogler from Vanderbilt. Eddie Fogler ended up getting fired after 3 years.
Those Georgia Tech teams were good too.
But they were James Forrest, Travis Best,
Kenny Anderson.
D3, 3D.
Mm-hmm.
See, great defensive-minded team versus a team that lacks offensive flow. Yeah, the offensive flow, he got to be talking about Milwaukee. Am I correct, Jamar? Because when Giannis get the ball, he just 3 steps to the hole, Euro step, 3 steps, Euro step. I mean, Ryan, what's your thoughts on Coach Bud?
You know what? We are in you gotta remember that all sports franchises, whether basketball, baseball, football, we live in that Janet Jackson league. Whatever you done for me lately. So me personally, I really think that they could have probably waited another year, but because of the way they exited, they feel like it was warranted. But I mean, like you said, Spoelstra, the only reason Spoelstra still has a job is because he's had success. Jimmy Butler is going to be the one to save this man's job from him.
I don't think Spoelstra going anywhere because he grew up in the Heat organization. Spoelstra wasn't going anywhere. Think about when LeBron left. When LeBron left in 14, that was Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade's team. You can't control that Bosh is going to have blood clot. You can't control D Wade not getting his money from Miami. So that's why he went to Chicago. And then Chicago bought him out, signed with the Cavaliers. Then they traded him to the Heat for a second round pick to send him back home to retire as a Heat player. Spoelstra is not going anywhere. 5 times he's been to the finals. 5 times. He's to the conference finals 6 times.
I mean, he is entrenched as being a Miami Heat guy, if there's such a thing.
Oh,
you know, he was handpicked by Pat Riley. So I mean, that's why he's hanging on, in my opinion. He's hanging on.
I think Spoelstra's a great coach. He actually started a small ball and positionless basketball with the Heat team. Jumanji gave me an idea. If I'm the Bucks, Miami, what you want to do with Spoelstra?
Who?
With Spoelstra. Do Spoelstra want to leave? They want a challenge.
The Bucks need to get Sam Cassell. That's my guy. He need a job. Sam Cassell.
And he's off of Doc Rivers' tree, right?
Sam Cassell, my guy, man. I'm gonna say it every year.
He's off Doc Rivers' tree, right?
Sam Cassell, my guy.
Okay.
You know him from a small city, so we just drive down to Tallahassee to watch Sam Cassell play. And Sam Cassell was my guy. That was my guy. I ain't never liked Florida State, no sports, but Sam Cassell was my guy.
Bobby Sura, Charlie Ward, Sam Cassell.
Sam Cassell won a couple of championships in Houston, so I mean, I guess you could say that. But my thing is, I mean, why hadn't he been a head coach so far? I mean,
Doc Rivers.
You got to give him a shot. You got to, in my opinion, give him a shot. He the closest thing. I mean, you gave, even though it was the Udoka suspension that caused, what's the coach name? I can't. It's in Boston.
Joe Mazzulla is the coach.
Mazzulla. I was finna call him Spinelli. Mazzulla. You gave him a shot, and now he looking like he
don't know what he's doing.
Great. So you got to at least give Sam Cassell a shot.
What about? I'm gonna give you 2 names. They also need a shot. Phil Handy is one. I brought him up the other day, and the second one, Nick Nurse.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Nick Nurse. Before him taking the job at in Toronto, wasn't he like a Euro League coach or something?
I believe so.
I see. If you want him to hang around, yeah, but you had your. But see, when he had a loaded team, semi-loaded team. He got into the perfect situation with Kawhi, Gasol, Van Fleet, Lowry. You got into almost a perfect situation with that. You could get Nick Nurse, but you're gonna have to probably find one more. I think you need a little more. I'm not sure about his direction. I'm just not sure about his direction.
My thing with that Nick Nurse going to Toronto, Dwayne Casey won Coach of the Year and got fired because they couldn't get past LeBron.
Right.
LeBron left. They were going to the finals. They didn't need Kawhi. They didn't need him. They were going to the finals that year.
Mm-hmm.
Any last thoughts on that, Anderson, before we close out?
I like what's his name? Phil Handy. That's his name, right? Am I saying his name right? Yeah, but I feel like he's more of a developer than a coach. You know, players come in, fly in, they work out with him. Everybody loves him. LeBron loves him. Kyrie loves him. But you know, it's hard being a head coach in the NBA. You know, it's a lot of organizational things you have to do. So I'm not sure if he's the right guy. You know, Nick Nurse came from the Euro League and the G League. So I would pick Nick Nurse over Phil Handy. That's just me.
I mean, if you're gonna go I agree with you there. I see where the championship and the time that he did play, the time that he did coach in the league. He's been a head coach, so why not?
I'm throwing another name out there. Jamon said, two names. Jamon said, does Nate McMillan get consideration? I don't know. I mean,
I like Nate, but his message seems to don't seem to stay consistent to me.
I think Trey is a coach killer.
That could be it.
Because Quinn Snyder is a great coach. He's proven that he's a great coach. He's above reproach. Nate McMillan been fired from several places. Lloyd Pierce just wasn't the right fit. I'm gonna give you two names that's gonna be y'all gonna look at me crazy, and one of them I just forgot. Becky Hammon.
I'm not gonna look at you crazy there. I'm not gonna look at you crazy at all.
Jamal, what you think about that, Becky Hammon?
Let me go on and speak on this. That takes so many steps forward, and it's actually a good pick, not because she's a female, but because she stayed up under the pop learning tree. Over there in San Antonio, it would not hurt any organization to give her a head coaching job. It wouldn't give it, because you got to remember, Becky Hammon, when she became the lead assistant in San Antonio, all of a sudden, these other female assistants are popping up now. They had one in Memphis. She was a head coach at, I think she ended up being the head coach for the women in Notre Dame. But it goes a long way. But the basketball knowledge is there. It shouldn't matter. The basketball knowledge is there. She should get a shot. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I like that one, Fabe. I actually like that one.
Yeah, I like that one. What about my boy Frank Vogel though? He needs another chance.
Somebody coach you back in the same boat. I would say if you bring him on as a defensive coach and hire Mike D'Antoni.
Yeah, I like D'Antoni.
But the thing is though, no matter what coach you bring in, Giannis is going to have to work on his jump shot and free throw shooting. I don't care what he do. I don't care where you go this summer. On June 30th, you need to be in the gym putting up 600 shots. You need to be not putting up 600 shots. You need to be making 600 jumpers. 600.
I think I may have said this on this show before. Giannis could be leaps and bounds better than what he is right now. But a helicopter crash that killed one of the greatest NBA players of all time nixed all that. But before that happened, this man, Kobe Bean Bryant, reached out to Giannis with his guys the Kawhis, the Rosens, and ask this man, hey, you need some help. Let me put you in, get you your shooting shot. You know, you could be a better player. Why did he turn this man down? I'm just saying this you talking about getting in the gym and shooting, he could be that guy.
Yeah.
He's an MVP. He could have another MVP. He's a former MVP. He could have another MVP. He could have another title. But I mean, I digress. But yeah, see if you can work that out without Kobe. Maybe you can pull MJ. He the other greatest player. Maybe you can get MJ to put that dog in you.
MJ ain't going to the gym.
MJ going to the bar.
Yeah. He goes to the casino.
Need to go to the doctor to make sure he don't got jaundice.
Yellow eyes.
But yeah, but another thing too. Before we go, we look at Chris Middleton has an opt out. Brooke Lopez is a true free agent. Milwaukee is already over the cap, and Middleton signs. That's gonna be. We went over their when they got eliminated. We went over their roster, and they
up against it.
Yeah, they're already 150.
I mean, you got to whoever you get to as the coach has got to come in there with the mentality similar to the LA Rams when they won their Super Bowl.
They already got no picks. They traded for Drew Holiday.
Well, you got it. Do you still got the money? You gonna pay the taxes? You gonna pay the luxury taxes? Let's load all the eggs we can load up, and let's go after one. After that, we'll let the chips fall where they may. But if you're gonna go for it, whoever the coach is.
And this is the last thing black folks don't realize: the Haslam's bought a share of the Milwaukee Bucks. Haslam's already don't know how to run an organization. They're part of the NFL where they run a hard cap, and they're in Cleveland. Small market have experience with that, but this market share with NFL revenue sharing. NBA, they're going to the repeater tax again this year, and the collective bargaining agreement makes it more punitive for teams to spend. And Milwaukee is a repeater team, so that's going to be another thing to look out for. Are they willing to go pay the extra money for a team this year? That's the next thing. And then Giannis is eligible to sign an extension in September. If he doesn't sign the extension, you have to trade Giannis. Might I say New York?
But who can you get for Giannis?
It don't matter.
Like the whole team.
You get every draft pick and just about anything you want.
NBA champion, former MVP. Yep.
KD deal at the minimum, four picks, 2 players, and a pick swap. You get that for the Knicks easy, unless you want Dame Lillard.
Shouts out to Terrence Ross putting these folks in it, man. Shouts out to Terrence Ross. I forgotten Terrence. I thought Terrence Ross was still in Orlando.
No, he signed as got a buyout. Got bought out, signed in March. All right, guys.
102.97, 8:52 left to go. 102. Yeah, that's it.
All right, one last thing. Big Strong, what's your one last thing?
Man, my one last thing. NFL undrafted free agents have been signed, and it's a culmination of a lot of hard work for a lot of these young men that decide to play football. I know our viewership is limited, but we touch people. So if you know of anybody that is an NFL undrafted free agent, make sure that they go out there and give them everything they got. If that guy was, if my man in San Francisco can come around and be Mr. Irrelevant, which is the last pick, you one pick away from being on the undrafted free agent yourself, then hey, you can make a squad. Do not believe what they're telling you. You can make a squad.
Anatole.
So this is my favorite time of year is grad season. Y'all know I work at a university, so watching all the graduates graduate is one of my. It's a special time for me because I see most of them come as freshmen, then they leave as graduates. You know, see the pictures. But with that said, I would also like to thank the teachers because this is starting Teacher Appreciation Week. So I want to give a shout out to all the teachers, especially my favorite teacher, my wife, Ashley Cloud, who just became Big T6 fave. You know what T6 means?
Yes, EBS, big pay bump.
What's it now?
Pay bump.
Stay at home dad. Yep. T6. So yeah, shout out to my wife and shout out to all the educators this week for Teacher Appreciation Week.
Jamon just put something in the chat that's gonna be my one last thing. If I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, and I know Giannis is hesitant about signing extension, and I'm gonna repeat her. I'm looking at doing a 3-way with Portland. Dame goes to Portland. No, Dame goes to Milwaukee. Jrue Holiday goes to the Knicks. Knicks and Obi, Julius Randle, and Jalen Brunson to Portland. And Portland will get some picks. Portland will get about 3 of those first round picks and a couple pick swaps. I needed to get the trade machine to see if that works, but that's the only way I see it working because Dame is tired. He was on Stephen A's World a couple weeks ago, and you could tell he finally sees that. Yep, I shouldn't have signed that $120 million extension. I should have just asked for a trade. You could have been in Philadelphia right now. Could have been in Philadelphia. You could have been in New York, but you're too loyal to Portland. And they should have made a trade for Carmelo. If they had Carmelo when you had CJ McCollum, y'all would win in the finals. Easy. Wednesday. Don't forget, Wednesday, we're going to still talk about the NBA. We're going to talk about some NFL scheduling, and I'm going to see if that trade works in the trade machine. But other than that, guys, we are out. We'll holler at you.
Be sweet.
Oh yeah, Jamal said New Yorkers will riot at Brunson League. Yeah, they probably will. But if you get Dame, I don't think they would care. They
have to try to get the first pick. I mean, Giannis the baddest man in the world. You gotta try to get Victor Wembanyama. Say his name, Faye. Victor Wembanyama. Yeah, you gotta get him if you're gonna get rid of Giannis. A generational talent for generational talent.
Wembanyama. We out.
See y'all next.